Hi. It's so good to see you. All of you. Not. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. You ever just feel that way? Is this the right scene? Hi, my lights aren't on. You want to know what my room looks like with no light on? There it is. Boom, hello. Oh, what a rough night. Jeff, absolutely heartbreaker. I ended up with 167. And like, I snuck that out too. That's the worst part. Like, I absolutely snuck it out. So close to being even worse. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, everybody? So don't take this too hard on yourselves. If you picked guys like I picked, I almost took Amart and Brayton both off my team because I was like, what's their upside? They aren't gonna do that good. They can't do that good. But the only reason I didn't take them off is because I was like, I just couldn't find a better pick. That was it, really. I couldn't come up with somebody that I thought was a better, more upside pick than that. On the bright side, A-Ray missing out helped me a lot. Because that almost equalized my Amart. Can I get my $10 back? I don't think it works like that. I don't think it works like that, Jeff. I'm so sorry. I slipped through with a 171. It was bad, but this is it, man. This is how it works. This is the game. This is the game. Can we be mad at Amart? Absolutely. We can be mad. Do you guys want... No, never mind. She's gone. We can be mad at Amart, but like, this is the game. Be mad at Amart for not telling us, but don't be mad at Amart for your score because this is part of the game. I saw some belligerent asshole in the pulp chat being like, there needs to be a contingency. This is part of the game, man. Like, it happens. It happens. If this is the first time it's happened to you, congrats. It hurts, but I think this has happened to all of us. Outdoors is even worse, man. My name is Mike and I'm an A-Ray-aholic. That's on you. That's on you. I love A-Ray to death, but the amount of people that out here that pick A-Ray and Jerry and all of these heartbreakers are the worst. All 4 admins had Amart and I didn't, and you got a lot. Marks, see, it doesn't matter. Take it from Travis Marks. It doesn't matter. So Marks, what are we waiting on here while I look? We expect that McAdoo could get a penalty, and I think that it's likely that he will because they have not released results yet. Normally they at least have the provisional results. They don't have any results. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a pretty good indicator that McAdoo is going to get some sort of penalty. And same with 450s. They're probably going to penalize Anderson. If they only penalize one or the other, Anderson was blatant. I think McAdoo's was one of those where could he have done something different, better? Yeah. But I don't know. Kellen had a good tweet where he drew it, where like the path that McAdoo took. Yeah, here we go. No, I don't want to save it. I just want to like open it in a new tab. So like Anderson literally just said F these whoops entirely. And he hauled ass down him, but at least McAdoo did this, wrecked right here, took it forever to get up. Then he rode back this way to clear the official. Then he had to ride back past the mechanics. So like, should McAdoo have turned around and come back to the corner? Yeah, probably. Probably. That wouldn't have hurt. But I don't think this was terrible. I would go, if they penalize McAdoo, I would say, you know what? He shouldn't have done that. He knew better than to do that. But if they don't penalize him, I understand because he did not do anything terribly. He only missed, what, 2 whoops maybe? You know what I mean? It wasn't too bad. Got to bring back, oh my God, yeah, Carlos Rivera. They act like he is somebody that we should respect, like Skip Norfolk. You know what I mean? Worse than Brandon. Ryan, my biggest thing on Brandon is that he dodged an obstacle, sped up past him. Hartraft should have, even if he would have done this, go around the obstacle, but then tuck in behind Clayson and pass him on the inside. That would have been the smart thing to do because he literally gained a position while dodging an obstacle. I think that's where Hartraft was a very black and white issue. He literally gained a position while skipping an obstacle. You can't do that. McAdoo gunned it right behind an official before the track. I bet that's why they penalized him. It's possible. But there hasn't been anything done yet, for what it's sure. But wasn't Jeremy Smith tied up in the blocks before him? I'm not sure. But I agree. I think Brandon's was not necessarily as much of a severity as much as Brandon's was very cut and dry. He did something he shouldn't have done. I think McAdoo's is the hardest to judge because again, if you look at this line, he literally had to go backwards to come forward. I think you can at least make a case why he doesn't get it. But Anderson, no, there's no excuse here. There's no excuse. Anderson was stopped, cut inside, jumped a tough block, and then just yeeted down the middle. Like there's literally nothing there. Nothing there. How many other idiots had A-Ray tonight? A-Ray's pick trend was 37, 32, or 37. I can't go look right now. But 32 to 37 is what he had. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to look at the numbers until after Marks has it completely updated. But hey, this is how fantasy works. F me, right? I picked the only all-star that didn't score at least 23. I don't know what happened to Malcolm. He got to 13th and died. Like, he got to 13th and stopped moving. I don't know. Whatever. They'll penalize McAdoo and let Jay slide. Never change. Never change AMA. Which reminds me, if you haven't already, go to rotomoto.co. Support the channel by purchasing some merch, such as Monster Cross Super Energy. And also, don't forget about Never Change AMA. If you want to see a really attractive man wearing this shirt, just look no further than to at I'm Travis Marks on Twitter and Instagram. But yeah. 32 on A-Ray. That's right, because it was somebody was 37. I remember specifically seeing somebody was 37. We'll be sporting my Never Change AMA. Yes, Cora, I'm so excited for you, dude. I'm so excited for you. A-Ray and Bailey pretty much killed me tonight. This might be like rude. I don't know what it is. There's something about Jordan Bailey's character that I don't like, and I don't know what it is. Other than the fact that he got let go from 2 teams in 2 years is telling. That means something. That shouldn't be a thing that happens. But I don't know. There's just something about Jordan Bailey that I don't like. I was looking for every reason to not pick Jordan Bailey. Bailey was the 37. Okay. Thank you, Travis. Look at this man's being on here, bringing the heat with the numbers. You love to see it. You love to see it. His name is Jordan. I have 2 enemies in my hometown named Jordan. That's fair. That's fair. The first lap he was out. Yeah, I saw him drop like immediately. He was what, 14th or 15th when he did? Isn't he the one? Yeah, Zach. And what was that? That was on like Thursday before A1. They just were like, I think, well, Steve just said, Bailey will not be lining up with the team. Like, how the hell does that happen? That's not good. Whatever it is not good. You know what I mean? And not to mention that he got kind of unceremoniously booted from Rockstar too. That's all around not good. Is this Cooper's championship? Can we go ahead and just say that like this is Webb's championship to lose? The only person that can stop Cooper Webb now is Kevin Moranz with his absolute rocket ship starts. What a man. We need to raise money and put RotoMoto on Kevin Moranz's helmet. I'm gonna have to get that done somehow. I want to see that before the series is over. Wasn't Bailey's issue with the other teams his dad? I don't know, Mark. I don't know. But it's just one of those where, like, and this just goes back to, I mean, no disrespect here. I do, though. I want to say no disrespect, but I kind of mean disrespect. Bailey's one of those privateers that like he doesn't do anything. I'm so upset with the privateers that do nothing on social media. Show me that you care about your sponsors. Please, in some meaningful way. Like, this is a true privateer that could use every dollar you throw his way. And on social, he posted up that he was on Tylube on January 5th, and then he didn't even post a single thing until January of 25th. And these are just riding videos. And he's like never once thanked really anybody. And it's like, come on, man, show me that you want to be here. Show me that you want a ride. Show me that you want this. Like, look at Kevin Moran's perfect example. If you were going to sign a man for a team, Bailey might be this much more talented, but Kevin Moran's is just excited to be here. And maybe this is the problem with having these kids that you sign from such a young age and you groom them to be professional riders, is they don't appreciate it because they've never had without. Give Moran's that's strong, Ryan. I agree. To be fair, he can't ride Jordan Smith's coast anyway. I don't see Jordan Smith pushing his bike. I wonder if Moran's did that because that means that on the score sheet it will not say DNF. It will say 8 laps down. I know that's such a silly little thing, but I love and respect that out of him. By not being active on social kind of shows me that they want it too. Well, Josh, I don't mean show me bangers all the time. I'm just saying that he went an entire month where he was building his program and he didn't like not once post and thank anybody for it or anything. I don't know. For me, as a person that runs a business, as a person that has built not Roto, by the way, like my other business, it's so important to just show that you're appreciative of it. Just show your appreciation. People will notice that. We all notice Kevin Moran's pushing his bike across the line. Every one of us saw that. And every one of us see Jerry pull off. And there's a reason why and I'm not saying that's why Jerry doesn't have a ride, but like, do you want that guy on your team? I think Kevin Moran's is good enough to like be a legitimate 450 rider. I would love to see him get maybe like an HEP ride next year, right? I don't know if anybody wants to be on that team because they don't really have the results. That's not fair to say. Excuse me. I don't think Anstie would be doing any better on any other bike. I think this is where Anstie is as a supercross rider, is a 15 to 18 guy. I think he's about as good as Kyle Chisholm is outdoors or indoors, obviously with much more upside outdoors. He can thank his sponsors on his videos. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to see something, man. That goes for everybody. Like, you're a celebrity. These guys are celebrities with fan bases of people that like root for them heavily. Like, can I get a post from Jeremy Martin? I don't think Martin has posted a single thing on social since like, hey, race, like round 1 is tomorrow. Like, can I get one thing? I forgot to tweet that we're live. Give me a second. I had to go get a lemonade. Look at all of y'all here, and I didn't even tweet. There we go. There we go. Anstie with the quietest night of anyone. Didn't even notice him. Got decent points. Yep. And he's done that every round. He's become a Chiz alternative. If you can't pick Chiz this round, pick Anstie this round. Every other time. What's the deal? Jeff, I just think this is Hartraft's thing. Like, I think this is his skill level. Like, let's be honest. Of the rookies coming into the 450 class, we had Ferrandis, McElrath, and Hartraft. And I think that they're finishing roughly where they deserve to be. Like, Ferrandis, who is clearly the best rider of the class the last year and a half, I think this is where he belongs. I know that he's got second, but like, I think that he is typically an 8 to 10 guy. I think that's where he slots in, and that's as a rookie. That's really impressive. Can we be like fair, I guess? Can we stop being so unfair to these rookies? That Ferrandis coming out and finishing 8th is fine. That's about where Osborne was his rookie year. We have to stop seeing AC come out and even Savachi having this year. Like Cooper Webb's rookie year, what did he finish in the points? Like 10th? Ferrandis is doing fine, and I expect if Ferrandis is an 8 to 10 as a rookie, then I think McElrath is like a 14 to 16, and that puts Hartranft at like 20 to 25. That's just kind of where he is. 250s, he was a whole lot better. He wasn't though, Jeff. That's the thing, is that Hartranft had what? 2 podiums? I think, like in his entire Supercross career. It's not like he lit the world on fire. Let me go look at his stats real quick. Let's look at race results. 250 Supercross, 875, 84337. 5 5 12 6 10 11 9 8. Yeah, like like again, I think that we remember that Hartranft that showed up twice, because he did get 2 podiums in the middle of last season, but they were near the beginning of his season. Then he finished out being a 857. Like, I think this is exactly where Hartranft would be. Bumped up due to stature. It ain't the it's not the well. I'm saying like I think that Hartranft. Yeah, I don't think he could be on a better bike. I don't think that him being on a factory Honda would make him any better. If he was that good, he would have had a better ride. But I think, and again, I don't think the bike's the problem. I think if Anstie is finishing in the 15, 16, 17 range in Supercross, that's where he belongs. I don't care if he was on a Red Bull KTM. I don't care if he was on anything. Like, that's probably where Anstie would finish regardless. As a rookie of the year, they need to race all the races. Yes, exactly. I agree. Just need to give that bike to someone else. But who, I guess, a lot of guys don't want to take those smaller teams. Like, I know Justin Starling spoke on it somewhere, I don't remember where, that he is making more money and has more freedom and is having more fun doing his own program than he did last year with, what was he on last year? He was on AJE and he was on Chaparral, right? Those were the 2 teams that he was on. A lot of guys they want to just go out and do what they do. And I don't know what it's like to be on one of those smaller teams. I would love to talk to somebody about that, but I just don't know who you give his bike to. Who would you guys give Hartranft's HEP bike to if you could? Yep, Marty did it. Marty came out and stuck it out. I saw somebody being upset that they took them last week. He scored more points last week. Y'all simmer down now. If his team from last year was still there, 250 was still going, Brandon would be more impressive. Oh, for sure, but he's going against much weaker competition. When Max has Marv's ride, I think Plessinger's going to get that ride. I think Red Bull wants to replace Marv with somebody younger than Coop. I don't think they would go the same age or older. I'd give that bike to Kevin Moranz. God, I love Kevin Moranz. I'm gonna try to do a podcast with him. I want to talk to him about fantasy. I hate it because we have a like Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. I have no time. I have no time to do anything right now other than make the fantasy video. On these weeks like this, I barely have time to do like the rest of my life stuff. Can't always use all the parts you're comfortable with on a small team. Yeah. DB hinted Plessinger, did they? I just thought that was a natural landing spot for him because I don't think that Star can keep all 3 of those guys, and I don't know. KTM is always looking for the next, and Plessinger's deal is up. I think they poach Plessinger. I think Craig rides outdoors this year on Malcolm's bike, and then they bring up somebody from next year to fill the spot. Zens, hello. It's good to see you. Did you do well this round? Coop and AP like a year apart, but I'd love to see him on KTM. They are friends too. Yeah, but at least he's the same age or younger rather than going like over. Because what, Cooper's... Okay, so Kenny's 26, 27. And Webb is just a little younger than Kenny, right? Like, is Webb 25? I don't remember anymore. This stuff should be way easier to find out. I always thought I'd forever associate AP with Blue Crew. Yeah. 95, okay. So he will be 26 this year unless he was a spring baby. 213. What do you mean you're sad? You get out of here right now. You get out of here right now. Dude, Alves is a good pick. I said that, so if any of you guys don't know, if you're a member of the Patreon, get in on the Discord. We have a group chat for Discord. It was me, Three Smoke, Tiller, Softball Dad, like I don't know, there were 5 or 6 of us tonight for about an hour before the race, just pitching ideas back and forth. We had our own personal little chat while the race was going on, but it's been a lot of fun. It was cool. But I said last week when everybody was picking Jerry, I was like, don't sleep on Alves in that heat race, that weak heat race, and he got 52. Uh, he dropped so quick. I think he had an issue. I think he had an issue. I doubt that he just tanked like that. But yeah, if you ever want to get a hold of me like directly to ask me tips and stuff like that, because between Twitter and Instagram and managing the YouTube and trying to manage my own life and make picks and all that stuff, I don't always have time to check the DMs everywhere or the at replies everywhere. But like Discord dings when there's a message, so I at least hear it. The chat was Mike. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I have two Mike F's on the Patreon now. We're gonna have to figure out a name for the two of you so I can make sure that you get your proper recognition. Would be cool. Zach, I think that they will. I think they swap one of the three Huskies over to a gas so that it's 2, 2, and 2. It doesn't make sense to have three Huskies and one gas. I just think they didn't want to commit too much to it right now. It's still weird. Do you guys think KTM will continue to operate with no 250, no real? I know they have Voland, but last year they had a full 4 riders and now they have one. I don't know. Was AP a little mad? Trevor, I guess I just don't get it, man. I feel bad for Vince, and not just because I picked him, but he gets shit on when he's doing something wrong. He gets shit on when he's not doing anything wrong. I go by Foster if that helps. I'll put Foster on the thing. I need to just reach out to everybody on Patreon and say, what do you want to go by? Let me put that on there. After the whole troll debacle, I was triggered. I went off in the pulp chat. I regret it. Please forgive me. Yeah, Ryan, you need to put that, you need to put it down. It happened. This is a game, y'all. This is a game. We're talking about practice. Like this is nothing. We're all just, this is educated gambling. And this is part of the deal. Getting zeros out of your control is part of the deal. And does it suck? Absolutely. But between you and me, you're not going to win the bike. I'm not going to win the bike. We're not going to win. You have to go into this assuming you're not going to win the bike and hope for the best. You know how hard it is to pick the right 8 guys for 17 rounds? Do you know how hard that is? You're not going to do it. Just have fun. Play however you want to play. I'm out of the running now. I got a 167. I suck. That's 2 weeks in a row. I was doing great. I'm out now. But I'm going to continue to play the way I normally play because it's good. If I do, I'll send you. It better be a firepower chain. That would have helped Henry Miller, I believe. You scored more than me without Amar, right? I have had 4 zeros in the past 4 days. I only had 2 zeros the entire rest of the season. So last year I had 2 zeros the entire season, and I have 6 through 11 rounds. So it is what it is. Just please have fun with this first, and everything else second. And beyond that, I had the 2 zeros, and I had Ferrandis, which might as well have been a 0. Yeah, Marvin 0, Ferrandis 2, Jerry 0. This was on me, though. This was on me. I didn't have anybody else I liked, so I just said, you know what? Let's go with Jerry, and I can live and die with the crowd. It made me feel better because I took Jordan Smith off to put Jerry on, and Jordan Smith also practically got 0, so it wasn't even worth it. Wasn't even anything. I was planning on picking Jordan Smith this week, but after he just didn't really look great in practice, and I heard something that he could have a broken finger or hand, or I don't remember, thumb maybe. So I swapped him out for Wageman? No, I had Wageman before that. I swapped him out for Thrasher. And Thrasher got me good points, so I'm not mad about it. Oh. I have not had 8 and 8 since Indy 3. Brian. Oh, what are you doing? Was worried about Cheyenne Harmon again this week. There's just a lot of good guys. It's good racing. Who the hell got 280? Some asshole. Probably. ASD 211. God, Fry was. I almost had Fry on my team. I almost had Fry on my team. I was that close to having Fry on my team. And then because his handicap was so high, and again, just like you guys probably did, you're like, what? Star Yamaha with a 7 handicap? Auto pick. Auto pick, break my keyboard. And then we were wrong. We were all wrong. This is probably the how many times? I know she got me. RotoWife beat me for the let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th time. RotoWife beat me for the 5th time in 10 rounds. Love that. Love that for me. I don't understand how I can lose $500 in a casino and not bat an eye, but I lose $20 on dirt bikes and I want to murder someone. It's because this isn't a quick bet. I think that's the deal. I think the problem is it's because it's not a quick bet. I would gladly bet you $20 right now on something arbitrary and it's over. And I take my money or I don't, but it's over. But if you fail at fantasy, it ruins your fantasy for the next 15 weeks or whatever. Like you're out forever, like for the entire. So I get it. I get why this hurts more. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's also because you care so much about this. There are people that play poker so hard, that that care like we do about this. You know what I mean? You lie. Who lies? Me? I would never. Is K just the main event guy? I've said that before. I told you guys that last time too. I said it in my video. That's 2 weeks in a row. How many of you guys take credence in the 5 riders that I tell you to watch out for every video? I told you twice that Cade Clayson was my high handicap hero, and he was in both times. I also told you to take Brayton this week, and obviously that didn't work out, but I think that's a little out of our control. None of it matters. None of it matters. Nope. I would like to do like a report of how well do I do on the ones that I do. Not me, I picked Mumford. How did it go for you? Oh, there's the weeks I had Mumford at basically 0. That's not how it works, Beef. That's not how it works. You can't do it like that. Are we just done? Are we just done with Mumford? Is that over? Is bad. Do you think he has room for improvement? Brayton injury. Andy, he has to be hurt. But also, with that being said, I thought for sure Henry Miller was... I thought he broke his whole ass arm, man. He looked rough. Like, he got... When he wrecked in practice, or in qualifying, like, he ran to the Alpine Star holding his arm. I thought he was done, and somehow he got up and was fine. So I don't know. We'll see about Brayton. Either way, I wouldn't pick Brayton on Saturday. I wonder if they'll have Oldenburg line back up. Is Mumford the new Jerry? I just hate it because I really, really want to like the kid. The one thing I will say that I hate. How do you guys feel about it? So let's talk about rider vlogs, riders with YouTube channels. I like Catanzaro's because he gives us more personality and less time on the bike. Mumford stuff is very well edited, but it's way too much riding and not enough of him. Like, I watch the videos. If I wanted to watch the videos for riding videos, I would just watch a riding video. I want to see more of that like raw emotion personality. You know what I mean? I'd like to know more about Mumford's program. Seems loose. Cody Shock, third time out of four in the LCQ, pulls it through anyway and gets 11th again. What a weird thing to do. He can't come out of the heat. He can't beat 8 guys in a heat. Or what's he can't beat 11 guys in the heat, but he can beat 11 guys in the main. I don't know, man. I love, dude. Cam does really good work. Cam does really good work for sure. AG is cool, but doesn't take his own lessons. Well, and Jeff, it's hard, and I don't want to get rough on AJ, but I mean, they say those who can't teach. Most people that are teachers, there's a reason that Eli Tomac doesn't do well. He doesn't need the money, but he doesn't do schools because he can't effectively teach because he just gets it. You know what I mean? Like if you just get it, do you guys know that? Like, I'm really good at math. A lot of you guys probably aren't. A lot of people don't like math. Everybody told me as a kid, like, oh, you should be a math teacher. I can't teach you math because I just get it. It's like reaction to me. And I feel like a lot of really great riders, Ken Roxon can't teach you how to be a really good rider because he just gets it. But those guys like AJ, Levi Kilberger, I'm local from Ohio, so Levi Kilberger does a lot of schools. Like all those guys, they can teach because they aren't so good that it's a reaction. They can still think about it. You know what I mean? I never say EJ Crash, really. He just doesn't have the raw speed. Zach, I just don't think he has the... I don't think he wants to go that fast. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think... What does he have to prove? Does he want to make mains? Yeah. Does he want to potentially hurt himself for it? No. And I think there's a lot of guys like that. I think that we're going to start seeing that out of guys like Eli, Ken, etc. soon because they're starting a family now of like, do you want to go out and get hurt? Like Marvin has not been the same this year, and the more he wrecks, the worse he's going to be because every wreck you're going to say to yourself, do I want to do this? Do I want to go out there and get hurt again? Do I want to be on crutches again? Do I want to do, you know what I mean? And so I just think that AJ, he goes out there and makes the main for what, $7? Like, it's not like he's going to get paid for making the main. More worries about his cats. The stuff on his Thor jersey. I think yeah, for sure. He's too scared to hit the jumps. I think he'll fade out soon, not making any mains. I agree. And it's a shame. Some push more than others. And it's very exciting to watch the Jet Lawrences and the Martys. They make for great entertainment for us, but let's all be honest here. We're all a little amazed that Marty is somehow still in one piece. The more Davalos wrecks, the better he got. I don't know if that's true, Josh. I don't think he's gotten any better. He's just been able to stay healthy, I think, lately. I think Dino's like that too. Injuries have changed his riding. Yeah, and again, like you don't want to, they're set for life. They don't need to go out and prove anything anymore. And they're already rich. There's just no reason for a lot of these guys to go out there and literally break themselves for it. Because when you look at a lot of the guys, like look at a lot of the guys that ruin their career because they go out and ride like a bat out of hell and then it breaks them. Like AC's still got plenty of time to have a career, but like look at AC's last 7 or 8 years that he should have been a 450 champion 5 years ago. He was that much of a phenom. You know, look at Pastrana, like guys like that. Michael, you're right. We haven't said anything about Hunter's first win. Fun stat. Jet Lawrence won his 8th Supercross ever, and everybody treats him as the next god. Hunter Lawrence wins his 6th Supercross ever, and we don't even talk about it. How harsh is that? What a main, man. If they dock McAdoo 2 spots, which is what they docked Hartraft, so I think that would be fair. then Hunter and him will share the red plate. How crazy. How crazy to think 4 rounds in that there would be 2 people with the red plate and neither of them were on Yamaha, considering that there are 8 Yamahas between Club MX and Star. It's insane. It just seems like if you're going to commit to Supercross, then do it. No, Jeff, 100%. But like, I don't know. It goes back to I've been very impressed with Ty Masterpool. Really both, but Ty especially, because these guys don't want to be here. They don't want to race Supercross. They just, I don't know, they just don't, you know what I mean? Pretty sure that was Hunter's 7th. I think it's a 6, Josh, because they only had 1 last year, right? They only had 1 on the East, or was he East? I think they only had 1 before the East-West Showdown. Or maybe it was a 6th main, 7th Supercross. I'm not sure. That's because if Jet played Fallout, his charisma would be 10. What would his strength, perception, endurance, intelligence, agility, and luck be? Would his luck also be really good? He got on the podium on a 6. Is that what it was, Josh? That's cool, though. Either way, that's cool. High agility for sure. Low strength, though. He's got a little baby frame. But yeah, I don't know. It's really... and I mean, and same for Swole for getting 2nd. And Kyle Peters for 3rd. I had no faith in Peters doing that well. And again, this is fantasy, man. Should those guys have been anywhere near the front? Absolutely not. It should have been all Cooper, McAdoo, and Hammaker. That should be your podium. That's the power ranking, I think. Like, those 3 guys are pure speed, the fastest ones out there. 450s have been a bit boring or missing something without AC. Jeff, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really... I mean, I think the most boring thing has just been that the championship title has lost... The championship chase has lost everything. It's nothing now. But I mean, like, AP and Anderson are making it very interesting. Really, those 2. Sexton coming back's been really cool. Do you guys ever kind of hate, like... Tonight, there was no real battle for the lead, but the TV practically showed Webb, Tomac, and Roxon for the entire main, even though they were never actually that close. There was about a lap and a half that they were actually close. Anderson skipping the whoops. I don't know. We pulled it up and looked at it earlier. Like, the absurdity of this was Anderson's line where he just said, you know what, F it, and just jumped this tough block and railed down. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what it was. What's the pick trend when AC comes back at a 0 non-all-star? The highest I think I've ever seen is 60. So I think 60. He might even be negative. He did post today. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram or anything, but he did say he's aiming to come back for Atlanta. Barsh is interesting to watch. That's true. That's true. What's the highest pick trend ever? That's a good question. I don't have the answer for that. I don't know. I don't know if anybody has the answer for that, for the highest ever. I can tell you this season. The highest in the 250 East was Christian Craig as an all-star at Houston 3 for some reason. The highest in the 250 West was Seth Hammaker at Orlando 2 in the opener when he qualified like 3rd with an 8 handicap. And the highest in the 450s has been Chase Sexton at Daytona at a 58.4. And nothing beat it this week. So yeah, so the highest, so we haven't had anybody top 60 yet this season. God, Jerry Robin, we don't talk about Jerry. Yeah, but Josh Hill is coming back. Yeah, and Justin Hill's coming back too. Oh man. Did you hear RSA say it's good for him to start off with a fresh foot? I didn't hear that one. About who? About what? Barsha this year has been fun. I think it's been nice, and maybe Barsha having really no pressure with Gas. He's no longer, like, he's on a factory team, but he's not on a factory team that expected results. Has been really good for Barsha that he just has to go out there and race hard, and it doesn't really matter where he does. What was Mathis's score? RC said fresh of breath air at least 3 times. Fresh of breath air. He's the fresh prince of breath air. Admins. Oh, that's not gonna work. Mathis 169. A-Ray and A-Mart zeros. JT, that 187. A-Mart and Bailey. Paul 151. You guys pay for these picks, by the way. A-Ray, A-Mart, and Bailey. Dan 189. A-Ray, A-Mart. They charge money for that. Josh Hill for sure will line up, but I know Justin will not line up this year. You guys think, okay, so do you think Justin Hill ever races another Supercross? Do you think Blake Baggett ever races another Supercross? So can I message you on Patreon before my picks? I can't guarantee, Jeff, that I'll get to it because Patreon doesn't ping me, but I'll try. But I won't tell you who to pick. That's the one thing that I've kind of made a roll on, like not just with Patreons but with everybody, is I'm never gonna tell somebody this should be your team because I don't want that. I don't want that kind of spirit, and I also don't want to. I don't want people to come back at me if I pick you a team and it does bad. But like I will give you feedback on it, but I'll obviously just I won't be like, yeah, that's it. You know, no, you should pick so and so and so and so. Isn't Blake Wharton going to try it again? Who knows, man? Do you think... Oh, my God. Oh, B, could you imagine if Justin Hill becomes a bike cop? That would actually be amazing. Blake sells bikes now. Yeah, he sells extremely overpriced two-strokes on Instagram for like $8,000. Just about to like... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Jeff, absolutely. We can go over it. If you want, I can go over it real quick right now. You can still ask me questions about it, but I'll show everybody what you can expect from the cheat sheet here. So this is what you would be getting from your the enhanced Patreon cheat sheet. Come by this 2021. Ryan, he was selling like a 2005 KX 125 for like $7,000, and I was like, who wrote it? Is it a famous one? Is this like James's bike or something? It was just some random 125, and I was like, no, that's not, nobody wants that. I'm sorry. But anyway, so here's what you would get from the enhanced cheat sheet. So all of this stuff is pretty standard. We got names and numbers, what session they're in, what their qualifying time was, how far off the leader they were, and then their qualifying position. Their handicap, if they're an all-star, their finish, and their points. That's all stuff that you can expect. You can more or less get this on the basic cheat sheet. But then over here on the enhanced, these are their averages for the entire season. So their best, this is their average finish, their average qualifying, and then their racecraft is the difference here. So Eli qualifies better than he finishes. So he's a negative 1.9, meaning that you can assume that he's going to probably finish around 2 spots worse than he qualifies on average. This is missing this one right here, but here's their start, their average start. And then this one is how far do they normally finish compared to their start. So Eli normally starts 7th and gets 5th. So you can assume that he makes up 2 spaces from his start. This is their average heat finish, and this is their average LCQ finish. How many, let me scoot it over so this is all on there. This is how many mains they've made this year, how often they come out of the heat race, how often they come out of the LCQ, and how often they don't make the main at all. Why the hell do we have these crazy points after all the research we do? Can we not get points for riders all the way down? What do you mean all the way down? Like this? The reason I stop here is because this is 22. This is the cutoff for 22nd. So this right here just is assuming that they finish where they qualify. But if you finish 23rd, then you didn't make the main and you get 0. That's why it stops here. Because it doesn't work beyond this. Because Cartwright at a 16 can't get 23rd. He can only get 20 seconds. I think he means guys that missed the main should get points. Oh, absolutely not. No, no way. No way. That takes all the fun out of it. Then there's no negative for gambling on A-Rays and Starlings and stuff. That's what makes the 16s so addictive to you guys. It is you could potentially get a big fat 0. I was saying a huge fan of Blake Wharton's mainly because he wasn't the type of mini phenom. That's fair. That's fair. And I feel that. This is a new one that I added right here on the Patreon cheat sheet. If you're on the Patreon, you might have missed when I like my explanation of it. But this is how often they have beat their current handicap this season. So for Eli's sake, he's a 4 handicap. So 60% of the time, or 6 out of his 10 races, he has finished 5th or higher. And I highlighted the ones that are over 66%. So these guys in particular are guys that are the most likely to score double points or max out as an all-star. I'm saying the 15s or 16s get higher points than I see on top 22s. Gotcha. How right was I? Tomac, Barsha, Webb, and Roxon all maxed out, I believe, right? Ferrandis did well. Malcolm did not. Brayton obviously missed. Tickle doubled. And Anstey doubled. So that's pretty good. I gotta go see you guys on Saturday. Ryan, I appreciate you being here, dude. We'll see you for Saturday for sure. I watched the race. I watched the race in person. Nice, dude. How was it? I picked A-Ray qualified 17th. I just and look, I give you guys this qualifying information. I give it to you because I know that's what you want. But the difference, the big thing for me about qualifying, that's a big takeaway, is yeah, I know A-Ray qualified 17th, but the gap between 17th and 21st is 0.3 seconds. Would you have picked A-Ray for sure if he qualified 21st? Would that have been automatic? Do you like 0.3 seconds is nothing. Like literally hit your stopwatch on your phone and hit it again as fast as possible. And that's 0.3 seconds. That's half a bike length. You know what I mean? Like that's not enough for me. What I think is important is when you look at these, like, you know, Tomac was a full 0.3 over Barsha. Barsha and Webb were really close. And then there's then there's a little gap to Roxon and Anderson. But then, you know, we all know these 5 in our league of their own. And then Sexton, Savacci, Ferrandis, Malcolm, Dean, like these guys are all pretty close. Then there's another gap back to A-Ray. I actually have, to talk a little, no problem, Jeff, no problem. I actually have one on the enhanced cheat sheet now that shows that. Here's how well they qualified versus their average, to kind of give you more of what's an important number, or if it's a substantial number, I guess. But yeah, that's what's on your enhanced cheat sheet. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of numbers. That you should absolutely, obviously have. You need these. You'd be doing way better if you had all of these numbers. We are now up to 31 people on Patreon, I believe. It's 31 people that have this info that you don't. How can you possibly expect to beat those 31 people? Love being able to see their averages every week. Core, I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys like it. That's why I'm always trying to come up with new stuff to add to it. I know that it gets overwhelming. The more numbers that I use, the more overwhelming it gets. Maybe I can reorder them to put stuff that's more important near the front or whatever like that. I just need to spend the time to understand all the numbers better. And like Jeff kind of asked, Mike, if you would rather message me, like look at this week's now and message me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I'll have more time to kind of explain it and go over it with you than on Saturday. Cause like my Saturday is literally like I'm typing in handicap or I'm typing in qualifying times while race day live is on. And then as soon as race day live is over, I'm making the cheat sheets. And then I post them at like 6 or 6:30, and then I'm getting dinner, and then I'm back, and I have about 10 to 20 minutes maybe to look at my own information and make my own picks. And now I'm doing Pulp and I'm doing Moto X Dream. And then I also look at Rocky Mountain. Not that it matters, but everybody wants a free Rocky Mountain gift card. So yeah, like on Saturday, I'm usually pretty busy. And then I try to keep up with Twitter as much as I can. There's a lot of people asking me questions on that. It just can be a lot. Hey, how do we feel before I get too far ahead? How do we feel about Carlos getting an interview in general? I know we've talked here before that about why the LCQ guys don't get an interview, but they literally interviewed the winner's mechanic before, which is neat, but there's no precedent there. And as much as I like hearing from the mechanic, I would have much rather heard from Scott Champion and Hardy Munoz and Cade Clayson. Like, I would have much rather heard from that. It might be a little different because I guess they're probably leaving that extra 60 seconds at the end in case Roxon, Webb, or Tomac missed the podium to give them their time to speak. But I would much prefer to have the LCQ interview if it was me. Not sure why that was necessary. And he didn't have anything to say. So I don't know if you guys follow on Twitter, but the voice of the drunken people, who you guys have probably heard of. If you don't Twitter, you've probably heard of him because he's one of the ones that sends in a lot of emails to the Pulp Show. But him and Kellen Brower had a little bit of conversation about just generally not liking Webb's personality. And Kellen brought up that a lot of people love the "I'm the best and you suck" personality, but nobody loves Webb's version of it. Do you guys have a favorable opinion of Cooper Webb? Or other than, it's easy if you're a Ken Roczen fan, you obviously don't like Cooper, but like other than that, do you guys like him? This is a KTM thing. You think so? The last mechanic I saw interviewed was Skip. That's what I'm thinking, Josh. They used to talk to Skip all the time. I feel like it discredits Webb as a rider and highlights the bike. That's fair. That's fair. I'm biased and I liked it, but I agree that the LCQ should have been interviews regardless. There was a big focus on the pit boards this race, so it makes sense. That's fair, Core. Oh, I never thought about it. Do you think that they intended to interview the mechanic and that's why they talked about that's why they talked about the pit boards maybe? He's a dirtbag, but I respect what he can do on a bike. Jason, that's fair. I don't morally like the head games stuff, but it makes for good TV. It makes things interesting. I prefer riders that go for the lead rather than guys that run the leader up the berm to bury him. But I don't that's not why I don't like Cooper Webb, but that's something that I like guys that they race to win, they don't race to championship. But I don't blame him for doing that. There's no asterisk in the rule or in the record book that says, yeah, he won the championship, but that's only because he purposefully messed at the head of the other guy or whatever. You know what I mean? Regardless of who won, a mechanic was getting interviewed to explain what they wrote based on who was on the podium. Yeah, like they obviously weren't going to interview Carlos if Webb finished ninth. They would have interviewed. God, I don't even know who Roxon's mechanic is. Is that bad? Did you guys watch Race Day Live and hear McGrath? Man, what I wouldn't give to have MC in the booth. He's so good. He's so good. I want to see people race each other, not exactly race nicely. Well, Josh, and I'm not saying race nicely. I think there's a difference between I liked Cooper and McAdoo racing last week when they were swapping back and forth for was that third place? Yeah, because Hunter got second. When they were swapping back and forth at the end there, that was amazing. But I'm just saying that Webb literally gave up the whole shot because he had it. He could have won Daytona. He purposely gave it up to stick Kenny 7 deep. And it's smart, but like I don't know. Like I would have rather him have been out front and had Tomac 2, Roczen 3 off that start and then have that chase going than the three of them never even really being close to each other. You know what I mean? 250 mains are way better. I agree, Jason. I agree 100%. He said he was off all day. I think he was playing defense. Webb's head and that's what I'm saying, Josh. Like I get it. They work. I think that just goes back to another way that I don't know if you guys saw my post on Twitter. I don't really want to get into it too much because it was kind of then and done, but somebody left a comment on YouTube about like rooting for Webb because he's homegrown and he doesn't understand how anybody could root for a German and whatever, which is just a really weird take. But the thing that I hate is there are so many reasons to root for somebody or not. Like the head games is a reason to root for somebody or to specifically not root for somebody. There's so many things about their racecraft and their style and their personality and the bikes they ride and the teams and etc. to root for. So I'm glad that we have guys that ride and race differently. Not sure if you heard Skip's on Pulp, but his take on Webb was spot on. He basically said he is dirty and he would get much more respect if he rode clean. Also, that Webb has it coming. I did hear that. Well, when MC today on the pre-show, dude, he literally said Roczen needs to park him to show him, to stick up for himself and show him that he's not boss. And I 100% agree. I mean, look at Eli. I know Eli got his title, but do you guys remember? I know you guys do, but I have to ask. Do you guys remember when Tomac spent like 18 laps trying to pass Marvin clean? I think that was at Gillette Stadium in 2018, 2019. And he finally got him clean after like 18 laps. And the half a lap later was the one where Marv just cuts across and just absolutely decimates Tomac and rips off his grip and stuff like that. That Tomac could have gotten by Muskin at any point in those 18 laps, but he was such a gentleman by not doing it in a rude way. And in the end, he ended up losing anyway because Marv just parked him like an aggressive rider would. I don't think it was it was a pretty aggressive move. It wasn't like penalty worthy. But I don't know, like again, would Eli and Ken have more championships if they rode like a guy that wanted it? Tomac is a class act. Exactly, Zens. Exactly. But again, there's no trophy for being the best sportsman. You know what I mean? I'm 100%. I'm a Honda guy through and through, but love me some Coupe. I'm a German descent, and I still want to see Coupe. Hell yeah, dude. 250 West, dude. The West has been great. So we've had 4 winners in 4 races. 3 of them first-time winners. The FFL has been different every race. The whole shot's been different every race. I'm almost happy. I'm not happy that he got hurt, but like it's almost nice with J-Mart being out for this being wide open. It's nice when Craig and J-Mart and even A-Mart, as much as I like those guys, the older guys that have been there forever missing time the last 2 seasons, because then we can actually see these young, hungry guys do it. You know what I mean? It's been really refreshing to have Styles Robertson running up front and McAdoo and I mean even Marchbanks a little bit. I like Webb. I just see it as confident, but I am also a Roczen fan. It's hard not to be a fan of either. They are both super talented. Yeah. Tomac isn't afraid to dish it. He would have more titles if he could start well. For sure, Ryan. But I just mean that there's been a lot of times where Eli was very polite in his not rushing it. There are certain times when he does rush it. Was there no Rutledge? There was no Rutledge. I don't know why there wasn't this week. I don't. It seemed well, and then there was there was no Todd or there was no Lee this week. They went back to Todd. I don't know. Off topic, but how's it doing? Marks, it's alive. I have a loaner graphics card, and I have it. It's not very cool. I don't mean cool as in stylish. Also that, but it definitely runs much warmer. The GPU did not. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Oh man, this is nothing to do with this has nothing to do with motocross, so I'm sorry in advance. But let me see. Do I have this hooked up? I want a video capture device. I want a new one. Phone. Perfect. Custom. There we go. Bear with me. I know it's a black screen. There we go. I know the lighting is not in focus right there, but that's where the fire started. My computer literally caught on fire at the pins. So I don't think there's anything there, but luckily I killed it within 2 seconds before it really spread. You can see a little bit of like the charring on the water block too, but that's my old graphics card. Yep, I'm just glad I caught it. I had just let the dog out. 5 minutes before that. I was outside for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and I came back in, and it happened within just a few minutes of me being back inside, and I was literally standing right here, standing, not even sitting in my thing, and I just heard my computer just like, I don't even know. I can't even give you a good sound, but and I looked over and it was just, I saw the smoke and I hit the switch on the back. I didn't even mess around. I just was like, switch on the back. And the worst was I had to put out the cheat sheets. Like I was in the middle of doing cheat sheets, and I just yelled to RotoWife, and I was like, my computer just caught on fire. Just in case you smell anything, it smells really bad in here. It's probably gonna hit your office soon. So I just had to go. Luckily, I had a lot of the files saved on the cloud, and I had to go and grab the second computer again and bring it back in here and hook it up and do it. But I just want to hear the motocross stuff. Glad you're good. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I was 5 minutes away. If I was outside, I was 5 minutes away from being homeless for having my house burned down. So yeah, that would have been that would have sucked really bad. I have a really weird way of dealing with things and like emotions and whatever, because like I should have been way more upset because obviously like my livelihood literally going up in smoke, but I was just like, I gotta get these cheat sheets out, man. These people are gonna be mad. So I will deal with this tomorrow. I gotta go get these cheat sheets out, like stat. I know mine was about to burn, but not form a malfunction. Yeah, so hopefully EVGA does something for me. That'd be really cool. But I also expect them not to. But I have a loaner. I traded under the knowing that I could trade back my 360 GoPro and $300 cash to borrow a friend's 2070. I gave him more than it was technically worth, but that's why I can get my stuff back, kind of thing, until I get something solved, because they're expensive and they're not hard to come by right now. Don't tell them you had a custom water loop and see what happens. Well, yeah, but it has a water block on it. They're gonna know I had a custom water loop. It's literally one that comes with a water block from the factory, so they're gonna know. That's where it's gonna kind of suck. They could be like, well, yeah, but you had it on water. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But it shouldn't have done that. Just order never changes. Zens, thank you so much for ordering a shirt. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on Saturday. I'll see you all on Saturday. This is like my favorite thing to do, by the way. I'm just really glad y'all come out for this. You don't have to, but the live show is probably my favorite part. My favorite part. Hopefully, we can make it bigger and better. Maybe next year we can get like, I don't know, we'll get a sponsor and we'll get some sound bites. It'd be cool to have like, as much as I want to do, because somebody asked about call-ins, like I would love to have guests on, like to talk to riders, but I also think it's really cool to just literally talk to you guys. Um, I think that's something that doesn't really exist in motocross, is being able to directly talk with somebody and you can tell me your opinions and we can have a discussion of them in real time. That doesn't, nowhere else can you really get that in like the moto world. Even like a lot of the YouTube motocross gamers and stuff that do live streams don't really talk to their chat very much. You know what I mean? All of it. Thanks. It is. I appreciate it. I skipped Forza tonight for some post race. Mark bless. What Forza are we talking? Do you play with your buddies? I have a wheel. I need to play more racing games, but I just don't have time to play games really anymore. It's a bummer. Thanks for doing this, everybody. Josh, absolutely, dude. This is a lot of fun. We'll do it for outdoors too. Outdoors will be neat because it won't be nighttime. We'll actually have like all afternoon and evening to do it. I live on Pulp and calling in is a nightmare. Yeah, well, now like somebody asked about it and I was like, I don't really want to do call-ins like that because that's just really hard to manage and I'd have to have a setup. But for this you don't have to call in because you can see it and I will read it and we'll all address it. You know, obviously if this grew into something massive and we had like hundreds of people in here, that'd be a little bit more difficult. But as it stands now, this is a lot of fun. World P Class Forza 7. I love that for you. I'll probably be way more drunk during outdoor. Yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe I'll get to go to an outdoor race. That would be really neat if I could get to go and get pressed for that. It's cool to talk about the race in fantasy while it's fresh on the mind. Yeah, Ryan, and again, it's no offense, but like the Pulp show's on Monday for a reason. You don't want it on Sunday, but having that like the race ends on Saturday and then we have all this built up energy and we don't have any way to really outlet it until the Pulp show on Monday. That's so long of a time like to wait for it. How many people have you had live? Just me. I've never had a guest on. I was really afraid because the first time we did this, not you guys, but like chat didn't talk. And again, I think that's just because like in motocross, normally the chat just watches the people on screen talk to each other. They don't interact much. And I was like, I'm gonna have to get a co-host because like if people aren't gonna talk to me, I'm gonna have to get somebody to talk to because I can't monologue for an hour. That's not like how I'm built. But you guys are doing a really great job, like throwing stuff in and doing no live on here watching and talking back. I think the most we've had was 60 or 70 at a time. I'm not sure the maximum, but about 70 is the most we've ever had. You going to any supercrosses, Zach? I went to Indy. I went to Indy 1. I had tickets for Indy 2, but my buddy who I was supposed to go with bailed, so me and the wife went for Indy 1, and then I was going to stay in Indy and she was going to drive home, and then my buddy was going to come and I was going to ride back with him, but that ended up falling apart. So Indy 1 was the only race I got to go to. And it really sucked because last year I got press credentials for Indy, but the Indy got canceled due to COVID. And this year they didn't give out as many credentials, so I didn't get anything. And it just really was kind of a bummer because I didn't really get to, there was no pit party. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. Like it just kind of sucked because I was like, we're there. And the whole time I just kept being like, I wish I was home because at least at home I'd have my computer. I could be with you guys. I could do that. But being there, I just felt like I was kind of bored, and I also did a worse job at Roto. You know what I mean? Well, the part of the country I'm in Central Ohio. I'm in the Columbus area. To Charlotte. Oh man, I hope it goes back to Charlotte. I would love to go to Charlotte. That would be great. And St. Louis. I really liked. We went to St. Louis last year. It was the wife's first, the first one. Which Roto Wife is a joke. Somebody said Roto Wife, in chat, and she said I'm making it. So now she made the account Roto Wife. She missed round 1, but she's probably still beating a lot of you guys. She's really good for not. She is the perfect control group for RotoMoto because I don't give her any help at all. She watches the video on her own in her own office. She looks at Instagram, she looks at Twitter, and then she makes her picks. And so far, she's doing really, really good. And it's just one of those where she's like, I don't know why some people struggle so bad. I'm literally just going off of what you give me. You know what I mean? FNS, yeah, Kevin, hell yeah. They used to sponsor some of my buddies in flat track. Daytona Autocross or Dayton Autocross was most fun. I never went to Dayton. I'm actually bummed about it. I miss STL. Yeah, St. Louis is a really good arena, and having all the pits in the basement was a really rad setup. Kevin, are you still in the Dayton-ish area? The great old Lake of the Ozarks. Hell yeah, that's cool though. I don't mind the Midwest. I don't really have any attachment here. I would love to live somewhere more interesting, but like a lot of people talk crap on it, and I'm just, other than it being one day 70, one day 25, like Monday 70, Tuesday 25, it's whatever. I don't really mind it. We have a lot of motocross tracks. I might actually ride this year. I only got to ride once last year. If it's warm and a track opens up on a Saturday with no Supercross in these next two coming up, I might have to get to the track. When life gets back to normal, come back west for Supercross and opening. I would love, Cora. You have no idea how bad me and the wife want to come to Seattle. So bad, so bad. You have no idea, Cora. I just watched. If you ever want to have a cry, I just watched the history of the Seattle Mariners on Secret Base, which is a YouTube channel that kind of deals with stats. And it's just like about how pathetic of a franchise it is. It's so good though. Like I say that, but it's so good, and it makes me get the feels every single time. I raced District 3 back in 2000. That's really cool though, Kevin. I'm here to host. Cora, yes, that's so awesome. Have you looked into a Supercross ride day at Archview? I'm not familiar with Archview. We are so pathetic. You should watch it, Cora, if you ever want. You can honestly almost listen to it. Here's a link for it, just in case you ever want it. Um, but it's just a really good video, and it talks about all of the silly behind the scenes things of the whole, and just it's almost more about the tragedy that is the Mariners more than being pathetic. But the Supercross ride day at Archview, I don't know if I want to do any Supercross. I would get hurt. I'm so slow. I don't think you guys have any idea how slow I am. I'm a C-track guy. I get passed by children. And I'm okay with that. Where is Archview? I don't want the Loretta Lynn qualifier. I want an address, bro. Nothing. It gives me nothing. Oh, near St. Louis. Okay, cool. That took way too long to find. What do you ride? Sorry if you already said. No, Zach, you're fine. I have a 2015 RMZ 250. I want to get a Honda or a Kawasaki because I'm too short, old, and slow to be kicking a bike after I wreck because I fall down a lot. And I'm so tired of trying to start that thing. I'm so tired of sitting on the side of the track kicking the bike for like 10 minutes because I'm like so winded. It's bad, man. It's so bad. I need that e-start in my life, but it's a fine bike just when I go down. It also looks, I think it looks really good. I'll get you a picture. I guess I don't know if I've ever posted a picture of my bike for you guys. None of these. Come on, man. I know I took a picture of it on the van. I sold my Supermoto last year, which was really sad. I had to pay bills though. Um, Life sucks, right? Can I zoom it? That's all the farther I can zoom it in. That's it on the back of my van. We have a van on air ride with 20-inch wheels because we're extra. Here's that's the best I probably have, I guess. No, you know what? I have a picture. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I got. That's from my Instagram. That's all we got. Um, oh, 250 results are up, Chad. Awesome. What happened? It's literally in Illinois looking at the arch. That's really cool. I love the Zook, but yeah, E-Start would be nice. I'm still kicking my 16 YZ250. It sucks, dude. It sucks. The Odyssey. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We use it when we, so I make decals for car people. McAdoo to 10th? Wait, what did he end up finishing? Was he 8th? Before? Yeah, because Blosen. Ooh, he lost 3 spots then. Because Thrasher moved up too. Because I knew Jordan Smith and Blos would pass him, but they must have docked him 3 points then. Wow. So that means Lawrence has the red plate outright. That's insane, dude. So for those of you guys that don't know, Marks. Travis? I feel like I'm your mom. Travis? And Bob. Travis? Travis Michael Marks. You are grounded, mister. You walk straight to your room. No dinner, no video games. I appreciate you so much, dude. I really do. I don't think you understand. I don't know how to put that into words. Like at all. He did not gain any times or positions. I agree 100%, Andy. I agree 100%. In that entire incident, he lost 9 spots. But, you know, I don't make the rules. But with that being said, Anderson better get docked as much, if not more, because Anderson specifically literally hopped over a tough block to cut the track. They have classes for everyone, down to no jumping speed ups. I see the thing is I'll hit jumps all day. I don't ride enough to get good at it. I don't spend enough time on the bike to feel comfortable doing high speed maneuvers or low speed maneuvers for that matter. Like I don't like ruts. I'm not very good in the corners, but I'm not afraid of the bike as a whole. I'm not afraid of going fast. I'm not afraid of leaving the ground, but I'm afraid of like accelerating when I land too hard, and I'm afraid of like dude, I see a rut and I'm already wrecking. Thury was a great pick, wasn't he? He was, Kevin. I actually put him on my my long shot stats thing. I put up, I don't know if you guys saw that. I put up 4 bonus stats for each class of just a fact about 4 riders that have high handicaps. And I said he is the only person to finish top 10 in all 3 LCQs without making a main event. And I'm really excited for the kid, too. I'm really excited that he made it. That's really cool. Remert's Kawasaki out of Versailles, Ohio is legit. Will they give me a bike for, like, free? Because I would love a bike. It's all tabled. You like it? Deal. Deal. I'm in. I spent some time up your way with Justin Weeks. No shit, that's really cool. My corner speed is abysmal, especially played back on video. Time to get you to a TT track. Mark, I would love to ride a TT track. Like, because I raced flat track growing up. I don't know. You know what? You know what I do know? When I was a kid, I was fearless. And now that I'm an adult and I'm in my 30s, every time I see an obstacle, my life flashes before my eyes because I can't afford to break bones. So like I wish I was 12 again, because when I was 12, you just take the throttle and you just do this and you don't stop. But Mark, I think have we talked about it? Maybe we talked about it on Twitter. I raced flat track. I did amateur nationals 50s and 60s. I did well. We just got to that point where I was 11 or 12 years old and I wanted to be a kid a little bit, and I wanted to like hang out with my friends sometimes, and I liked baseball. And my dad was like, the sponsors, the sponsors, the sponsors, and we have to go and race all the time. And like we went to the amateur nationals and I got 5th overall. And we came home and the next day he wanted me to race some bullshit local race with nothing, no stakes. And I'm like, I just raced 4 times in 5 days. But he wanted to like, he was like, no, we have to go race. And that was my last race. I never raced again. It's a bummer, really. Probably a lot of wasted potential. I raced with like Brandon Jessamine and stuff, which was weird to see people that I raced with and beat sometimes go pro, you know? Anybody else have that sensation? You ever beat a guy and then he goes pro? I'm 30 and as soon as the helmet goes on, I'm 16 again. I wish that were me. And like I said, I'll hit some big jumps and stuff, but I was lucky to get in on that camel money. Yeah, Mark, I love that. My body hurts. Jeff, I bruise my ribs every time I ride. Every time I ride, I bruise my ribs. Because I will fall over in the ruts and I will land on it and I will bruise my ribs. It's bad. The family at Remertz are the most solid family in moto I've ever met. Josh, I don't know if I've ever even heard of that dealership. I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna open a tab for it right now. I don't really have ties to any of the I don't really have ties to any of the dealerships. I used to live near John Hinder's Power Store, which is a Honda dealership, but that was just convenient because it was down the street from me. That's it. My boss is best friends with Jessamine. That's crazy, Mark. That's really cool though. But yeah, it was weird. I remember racing with him, and it's just one of those things. Mark, I don't know if you're familiar with the Italias. Charlie Italia won everything in flat track for years and years and years, and he went pro, and he just never really did much with it. But I had Charlie's 65. My dad and Charlie's dad were very good friends. I grew up racing with like Ricky Marshall too. They're about an hour north of Dayton. That's not far. That's not far. I broke a rib last year in a local. Every time I go out on my last time, I get hurt. And not even in a one more, but a like, all right, well, the sun's starting to set and the track's a little empty and I'm going to go out there because the track's mostly empty and I'm going to get another lap in. Nope. Don't do it. It's a trap. Hashtag it's a trap. Kenny has to think of his retirement immediately. Miguel, do you think it's that bad? Real talk, before we wrap this up, give me some predictions. How many more years do the top guys have? Do you think Eli and Kenny race past 2022? Let's add another one. Eli, Kenny, and Osborne. Do you think those 3 guys race past next season? It was a race and just a small hip that you rolled. Those are always the ones. I remember them. I grew up in the Chris Carr. Oh my God, Chris Carr is my all-time favorite, Mark. I was number 4 because Chris Carr. All-time favorite. One of the nicest guys ever, too. All the well, I'll say all. Most of the pros in flat track were so cool. Carr, Will Davis, Davey Camlin were all super cool with me growing up. We were really good friends with TCR, Tommy Cummings Racing / Total Control. So like I hung out with Atherton, Will Davis, Nicky Hayden. I didn't really know him well, but it was weird just being around him because I think he was still a teenager, but you just knew that he was going to be a god. It was cool. There was a pretty cool indoor track, only 20 minutes, and all the privateers from AX rode there after Daytona. That's so cool, though, Josh. I'll have to check it out. If I'm ever in the market to buy a brand new bike, I'll have to check it out. I'll let you know ahead of time so that I can get your name so that I can tell them that who sent me. Well, that's probably why I don't really know them, because they don't have like their inventory and stuff online. That's usually what I look for. Eli goes till outdoors are over, then he's done. I wouldn't be surprised. Camel and I got our first national numbers the same year. He was 27. You were 28, Mark. I feel like I should know you then, because that was my era, man. Godspeed, Will and Davey. Agree 100%. And Rodney Ferris too. Jeff, I don't have an argument here. Again, they're having kids now. Their priorities have changed. And do you think that they want to be anything less than title contenders? And I think that Eli and Kenny, Their window is closing fast. And I don't think they're going to go out. Like, I love Justin Brayton and Chad Reed, but I just don't think they're going to. I don't think many people, and Chiz for that matter, want to race into their 30s getting 10th and 15th and stuff. Like, Eli doesn't even want to get 5th. I think if Eli, and I mean, hell, I know that he's turning it on a little bit right now, but Eli is dangerously close to getting passed by Barsha in the points too. Because he came in, I think, up only a handful of points, like a single-digit amount of points. I was friends with the Bostroms. Nice, dude. Yeah, Ben Bostrom. I remember Ben. They always said my drinking team had a racing problem. That's awesome. Kenny will just make excuses to me until he wins it all. Yeah. My work schedule kills my fantasy on these weekday races. Eric, the best thing to do is on Sunday when the handicaps come out, put out a nice, safe team. And then I have a rule. This might help some of you guys. I have a soft rule of no more than 2 changes from my morning team. So when I woke up, my team was what I had on the video, which was I had Amart, Marchbanks, Wageman, and Jordan Smith. And then I had Malcolm, Brayton, Tickle, and Sexton. And the reason that I because I wanted to swap out Brayton and Amart because I was like, they just don't have a lot of upside. I need to make up some room. But then I was like, no, you don't have a good enough reason to get rid of them. So just leave them on the team. And I wanted Jordan Bailey too. And I was like, no, just leave him on. Wageman's going to be solid. Thrasher's going to be good. And then I ended up I swapped out Tickle for Freezy, which was a wash. But I just was a little bit afraid of Tickle. But yeah, just set your early team and then try to only change 2 of them. I kept my Sunday team mostly. Eric, did you do okay? What did you end up with your score? This one's gone really long, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's literally 12:30 on the East Coast. I was planning on it being a shorter one, but it's really fun talking to you guys. I get too worked about someone getting hurt. Jeff, same. That's why I pulled off Jordan Smith, because I heard that he might have had a broken thumb or something, and I should have left him on. Watching qualifying is hard depending on the track. I don't think I gain anything from watching qualifying. I don't know about you guys. I don't think I learn anything. It's just something to put on the background while I do the numbers. Thanks for doing the show. Absolutely, Zach. 190, but at A-Ray. Hey, that's a good score. That's a good score with 7. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is my favorite thing to do. I hope I can keep doing it throughout outdoors and stuff like that. Do you guys all play? I imagine anybody here probably plays fantasy for outdoors too. But we'll do it throughout outdoors too. I'll stop a job and go to the truck and try to find something to change. Jeff, stop it, dude. Stop it. I mean, I do it too. You're always trying to maximize it, but just the more time you spend on it, the more you can be disappointed when it goes wrong. I swapped Peters in for Amart after qualifying. God, you lucky. Marks, you shut your mouth. You stop it right now. You will 100% be in. You're gonna play and you're gonna like it. And I don't even mean that in a way. Now I sound like your mom for real. You'll like it. On the bright side, Marks, it's not like you're the only one struggling. Thanks for the post race. Grab a pillow. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm gonna log off. It's been real. I appreciate you guys so much for coming out, hanging out with me on this Tuesday night. It's 12:30. I'm gonna hit the bed. You need more patrons too. How do we get that out there? Jeff, I plug it as often as I can. I put it on the YouTube videos. I put it on Twitter. I think that too many people see it as, why would I spend money on this when the whole game only costs $20? Instead of seeing it as, I am paying this money because if I don't pay anything, the people can't continue to do it. Because like, I can't continue to do this for literally free forever. I don't know how to get more people on Patreon. I don't know. Tell your friends, I guess. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna bail. I will see you guys on Saturday. Expect the fantasy video of Friday about 5 p.m. as always. Cheat sheets will be Saturday. We'll do another after show on Saturday. We'll talk about it. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. You can join our private Discord. There's no tomfoolery in here. It's all legit good people having real motocross conversations. But I will see you guys on Saturday. Take care.